I want to address Cramer's new watch list, if you want to call it that. So
I love it.
The guy who coined the FANGs now has the watch stocks: Walmart, Amazon, Target, Costco, and Home Depot. Let's dissect this a little bit. Pete, you want it first?
Well, I think we, across the board, probably like a lot of these various names. I think from a valuation perspective, I get a little bit more nervous about the Walmarts, the Amazons of the world. Target remains very inexpensive. And by the way, we talk about earnings. Earnings just don't really have them. Target was up 15% year over year on the last one. So, I mean, there is some earnings out there. Their guidance was good. All of their numbers in terms of growth across every single metric was good. So I look at this company that's still trading well underneath the S&P multiple right now, Scott. Of the names right there, that stands out. The only other name on there that it's nerve-wracking, and yet I look at Costco. I feel like it's a little bit inflated in terms of its PE right now as well.
Comps were good, though,
but
right?
they continue to execute, and they continue to be able to battle the internet world that everybody is so fearful of all the time, and Costco's doing a great job.
How about Depot? Mortgage rates are falling.
Yeah.
Housing market's been a bit, suffering.
Pushing to a new all-time high. I mean, it is exploding to the upside, and that's with some ludicrous folks saying, oh, we should boycott this or boycott that. They're just doing almost everything right. I don't know. I mean, and if you take away some of the same issues that Lindsay mentioned with Fastenal, that their chairman was talking about as far as how imports impacted them. Yes, they were able to pass it on, but it's definitely cutting into their margins. If you get past a trade deal, Scott, this one is 15% higher very quickly. Home Depot.
I'm not sure that it matters what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it anyway. The market.
Don't let this time be any different than any other time.
I opened myself up.
He knew it. He knew it. It was easy.
Well, I say it because I didn't know that some people must be able to interpret appropriately what I was going to say.
You knew I wasn't going to lay off that one.
I knew. But look,
I digress.
It's a rising tide, so it's lifting all ships. So it doesn't matter sometimes what the fundamentals are. If they're a leading index participant, they're going to rise. And with passive funds owning more than 50% of all the large cap stocks, your value in generating alpha as a stock picker is going to have to come from other stocks. So Home Depot's not up today because there's big news on it, not at an all-time high because of that. Neither is Walmart. It's up there because it's a leading market participator, and Walmart is more than 50% owned by index players.
The stalwart here is Walmart, Joe. New 52-week high again today. Yep. 113.72 was the high today. That's a 52-week high. I mean, this stock's been on a big run. Josh Brown, to his credit's been talking about it a lot. You've talked about it. It's been a fundamental case to make, a technical breakout that the stock has been witnessing as well.
Yeah, it's been 2 or 3 years in the making that the stock has had the turnaround. These are 5 consumer names. I mean, that's basically measuring the strength of the consumer. You look at Home Depot, refinancing is obviously benefiting Home Depot. It's not so much about new home purchases. It's about the ability of a lower rate environment that's powering the consumer. So the consumer, we've talked about it being the last leg of strength in the economy. And clearly you're seeing it. I still think there's a defensive positioning mindset in the market. So if you're talking about getting to 3,300, you're going to have a shift to a more cyclically oriented positioning standpoint in the equities market to get there. Maybe we're at the beginning stages
Rate cuts help you do that, right?
Well, rate cut cycles certainly help you, not one and done. And again, I think we're at the precipice of something that we didn't think we were going to see, which is a cycle.
So what I bought Amazon and I bought Target. Oh. I bought Target only because I got tired of hearing Pete whine about it.
I don't blame
being
you.
the only one in the
Probably
desk.
a top. Be careful,
He did change his last name to Cornell, but that's a different story. Because I wanted to be more exposed to the consumer. I didn't have much retail exposure, so that's it. And plus, Amazon, let's face it, going over 2,000, I think is a psychological move. I'm not so sure.
See the price target on there
move.
yesterday, too? The analyst had out there 2,500.
They're going to chase themselves. I'm waiting for one to be at 3,000.